Resident Advisor concerns, best wishes from the SLC RA Alliance. It is sent. I don't think we have enough.
Yeah. We don't have enough
No. We got everybody?
Right.
Can we keep that door open, please, just
Yes,
to get some air in there?
We are here to deliver a petition with a list of fair and reasonable demands that affect our wages and working conditions, as well as the well-being of the people we serve, signed by our coworkers.
We bring these concerns to your attention with the intention of enacting tangible change now. Under current conditions, the resident advisor position is no longer one of stability. The Office of Residence Life has taken my time, my work, and my patience for granted, and I am not alone in that respect. As a graduating senior, I have the luxury of not being employed by the school in the fall. If the operations of the current Office of Residence Life continue unchecked, I would not wish to work under the current conditions, and I will not tolerate it for any future RAs.
The resident advisor position is not currently livable for most people who work in it. And with changes coming to the contract next year, it is absolutely not sustainable. And that's why the Alliance exists, is a reminder that it is incredibly important to keep the institutions in power in check, and that we won't put up with this. I won't put up with this for the new RAs who haven't even had a training session yet. So Sarah Lawrence College is a small private liberal arts school located in Bronxville, New York. We have about 1,500 undergraduate students in total, 85% of whom live on campus. The people in charge of creating a community amongst these students are RAs. Sarah Lawrence has such a rich history of social justice. To me, this movement is a continuation of that drive that Sarah Lawrence students have towards wanting to make the world a better place.
It is a form of care work. We live with the people we advise, we take care of issues like addiction, theft, and intimacy, sexuality, especially with first years, people coming into themselves. We are the extension cord that guides them to all these resources to find out who they are. I really wanted to help people, but not in a way that was really conducive to the lives students were living. I didn't want to be in a leadership role where someone would have to go out of their way for me to help them. I wanted to be conducive to communities. And I don't even feel that I can do that anymore because I feel like the extension cord is being frayed, not by the students, but if I had a crisis happen right now, I'd ask every RA that I know before I would ask any of my supervisors.
The big one for me was there was an incident that occurred in this house actually and affected me on a personal level. I emailed my supervisor and then I didn't hear from her for about a week. So the next week I emailed my direct supervisor, the head of campus safety, and also the head of Res Life. And I said, hey, just to re-up, I was told that my supervisor followed up with each of you, was curious if you had any updates about the situation. Got an email directly after that that was from my supervisor saying, it is not appropriate to reach out to heads of departments, and this is unacceptable behavior when we've talked about this. I feel like I'm not trusted to do my job. We don't actually have much agency within the RA role because I don't think the office trusts us.
If Res Life isn't providing the support that RAs need, things need to change. The RA Alliance and the demands that we came up with are a reflection of a need for seeing change made to the position that I think has been coming for a long time. It was definitely a response to how Res Life encountered us when we thought about that and the projections of what that would be. It was dismal.
That makes sense.
So they're in that window?
Don't at us because they are trying hard to sort of amount evidence as to why they shouldn't listen to us, even though they've shown that they don't need a reason to not listen, they just don't want to.
There's a general understanding that what we're asking for is very reasonable.
I think we can get into the nitty-gritty of demands, but to me it's not super productive. I can outline why it is that the RA liaison position needs a clarified role description, but at the end of the day, the reason that that demand exists, that RAs are demanding more support from the office.
While there's always been a very large aspect of the demands that have been monetary based, hazard pay and full room and meal plan, increased stipends, it also began to shift towards a more sustainable model for prioritizing growth of RAs both as a collective and as individuals.
The big demand, being involved in the creation of the agreement, that was huge. We added that because that was a reflection of the returner's interest that this is long-lasting. And acknowledgement and credence is given to the people who are doing this job and know what it means to be an RA.
Essentially, we were told at the beginning of this year that RAs would no longer be receiving a stipend of any kind.
The lack of stipend and the detriment to the financial aid package, it creates a class divide that eliminates someone who's a part of a working class demographic from being an RA.
Today, a bunch of us are here from 12 to 3. What we're trying to do is build publicity on social media and tell people about the movement. It's really important, at least to me, to chat to people and help them understand why we're undertaking this movement in the first place, and to be able to connect with folks and hopefully be able to understand where students are coming from on this issue as well.
I think for a long time I will remember coming out of first meeting, which really made me frustrated. Like, I was shaking, I was nervous, like it was this very stressful meeting. But coming out of the doors and like turning and seeing the mass of people who started to cheer for us, that moment is like burned into my brain. I have never in my life seen the amount of gumption and dedication and hard work and absolute commitment to each other that this group of students has displayed. I have never experienced that, and I don't know if I ever will again.
RAs are people too, and they're not security guards, they're students.
When I found out everything that was happening this year, I was like, oh my god.
Deep issue that the school is only looking at the surface of.
And it's like, you're a student first. It's ridiculous.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, no, I support you guys hella.
Yeah, thank you.
Specifically with the RA Alliance, I think the idea of solidarity has been why we have thus far been successful in kind of a miraculous way.
We understand that at the core of what we're doing, we are a unit. Being able to return to that as like a reason for doing something, that's why we're strong.
To stand up against an institution with so much power is such a scary thing to do. And to have 29 people who span ages and races and class backgrounds and geographical backgrounds has proven that we are so much stronger as a collective than we are individually. The power we gain is not linear, but it's exponential. And so the more of us come together and stand in solidarity with another, the more power we are able to forge from the community we build.
Sarah Lawrence College administration has power due to the institution that it is part of. We have power directly through student support and student solidarity, but also the solidarity amongst ourselves. If we do things together, nothing can stop us.
Sometimes I really do step back and take a second and think like, wow, even if we stop here for whatever reason, I'm proud of us, and I will be proud of us because we built this. It was something we talked about and we fucking did it.